Howdy, Immortalium here. Today I'm reviewing a book, but not any ordinary book. This is Battle Royale, the novel. Now, for anyone who's not aware of Battle Royale, which, how can you not? What Battle Royale is about is basically the original Hunger Games. Basically, the students are taken from a bus, a trip that they're going on, put onto this island, given guns, or not guns, weapons, and basically told, kill each other. That is the plot, basically, to break it down to a nutshell. So, first of all, what is my experience with the franchise? I've seen the movie, and I love the movie. If you want to see my very first reactions to the Battle Royale movie ever, you can check out my very first movie marathon, which, was under the category of foreign film. Battle Royale was. But I have yet to read the manga, so I have no idea, anything that happens in the manga, how similar it is to either the movie or the book. So I am simply going to be comparing the book, the novel, to the movie. So sorry if I can't critique this in comparison to the manga, but bear with me. So first of all, why should you read this if you've seen the movie is the biggest question, because I'm sure most of my viewers have already seen Battle Royale. If not, you have to go watch it. But if you have and you're considering the novel, there are several reasons to read it. First of all, a lot of the other characters get developed. You see, in the movie, basically the main plot is relatively intact. You have your, you have Shuya, you have Noriko, you have Shogo, but all the other characters, they're kind of like, they're just there to be killed in the movie. You have your, you have the couple, you have the group of girls, you have the gang. Basically, they're all there simply just to get shot. Whereas in the book, they're actually all, well, maybe they're not all properly developed, but they're certainly far more developed than they were in the movie. So you get more backstory with the characters, you get to connect them with them more, you get to see how they came into this situation. Another thing that actually surprised me about Battle Royale, the novel, is the fact that it's actually science fiction, in a sense. Basically, whereas in the movie, it was actually set in a kind of modern-day Japan, the novel is actually set in a kind of alternate reality where Japan, it appears parts of, China, etc., etc., are in this kind of East, Asian country federation, ruled by a great dictator. It is basically, as many people call it, successful fascism. And I actually thought those elements were quite interesting. Now, I read in an interview that comes with the novel that the movie director didn't find those bits interesting, but I found them pretty interesting. It actually kind of makes sense that that Viz Media would release it under the Heika Soru imprint, because that's Japanese science fiction novels. So I thought those bits were quite interesting. The other reason you should read this, if you've seen the movie, is because of the fact that the last third of the novel, maybe the last quarter, is actually quite different to the movie. I am not going to go into spoiler territory, but let's just say that some fights are very different to how they played out in the movie, as well as certain events and some character resolutions. Now, so far I'm singing its praises. I sung its praises of, the movie, I've sung the praises of the novel, but there is something about the novel that annoys me, and that is, I wasn't actually surprised reading the back of the book to find out that Koishin Takame this was his first novel, and it shows. I mean, the writing is a little amateurish. Now, I guess some people would have just put it down to translation issues, but no, it's well translated. It's just simply not overly well written. Basically, when I say it's not well written, what I mean is, for instance, it has the thing, you know, like someone smiles, and then someone says something else, and then he says that the person smiles again, you know? Now, when I try writing something, sometimes I come across that issue, but that's because I'm an amateur writer. I don't want to be reading that in an actual book. Not only that, but another aspect of his, you know, amateurish writing is that we don't really get too much descriptions. Now, he kind of, you know, describes the guns quite well in it, as well as the weapons, and, you know, the gory scenes and all that, but he doesn't really describe the environment too well as the characters themselves. So, as a writer, you know, he's not the best. But he had many great ideas, and they shine in this, you know, novel, to the point where, you know, it almost eclipses the writing itself. The other way to view it is that, in comparison to the movie, which, you know, I would kind of count as, I wouldn't go so far as to say a B movie, but it's kind of schlocky. The novel takes the premise more seriously. Now, when I say more seriously, I don't necessarily mean that, you know, in terms of like how people get killed. They still die in exaggerated ways, just like they do in the movie. But what I mean is that it takes, you know, like the drama of the characters more seriously. You know, it takes, you know, when a character's friend dies, the characters freak out about it, and we get to know about it. Whereas in the movie, it's just kind of like a scream, and then they kind of just, they're okay, they run away. So, stylistically, these movies, like the movie and this book, are quite different. So, it's actually quite a different experience reading it. Now, the question then becomes, do I prefer the movie or do I prefer the book? And the thing is, I can't really compare them, because as I said before, for one, this book is science fiction. Again, it also takes itself more seriously. The movie, it's pure schlock. It's a lot of awesome action, interesting ideas, well, that are not really well developed, but it is a great movie, and it is great fun, and it's great entertainment, and there's a reason why it's so insanely popular. So, overall, yes, I really did enjoy this book. I highly recommend that you get it. It is well translated by Viz Media. If you're not aware, Haikusoru is Viz Media. I do recommend you get it, particularly if you're a fan of the movie. I don't know how similar the manga is to the novel. I think the manga came out before the movie, so there's a very good chance that it actually follows the book more closely than the movie. But definitely, fans of the movie, you will love this. You will like see the characters, you know, how they think, how they develop, etc., etc. It's just a really awesome read. You know, I love the hell out of this, even with its, you know, admittedly weakish writing. It's still such an enjoyable read. I'd highly recommend it. So that's it. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and bye-bye.